How's it going, guys? Billy here, and in this video I'm going to show you how we can actually check if your leads are actually downloading the lead magnet, so your PDF or your ebook that they originally opted in for. You've put all of this effort into creating your ebook, it's packed with value, and you've running paid ads and people are downloading it, and then what you're doing, you're pushing them straight into your welcome series. What we need to be doing is, before we push anyone into a welcome series or move them on to the next step in your funnel process, we need to make sure that they are actually downloading the lead magnet that they originally opted in for. And the reason for this is because you've put all this energy and you've put all this time and you've put all of this value inside of your lead magnet, and we know that this is really going to help your potential customer. So we need to make sure that they've digested the information, we've given them the value, and then we've moved them to the next stage. Now, a lot of people are just letting them opt in, and it's like, great, we're getting this lead cost, but we're not actually checking to see if they've downloaded it. We're going to jump across to Go High Level, and I'm going to show you how we use the trigger link functionality and how we're going to create the automation. I'm going to walk you through this full workflow that we use with our own customers. So once you are in High Level, the first thing we must do is find a place for our lead magnet, so your ebook or your PDF, to live. We need to host it online so we can use that URL as a trigger link. You can use Google Drive, and I want to show you an example of that, but you can also use High Level. So on the left hand side, if you come across to media storage, and inside of media storage, this is where Go High Level allows you to upload any of your files. So I'll just go into lead magnet here, and you can see that our hook heuristics workbook is one of our lead magnets that we use. If you want this, by the way, just drop me a message and I can send you the URL to download this. But what happens is, I've uploaded this, and because I've uploaded this to Go High Level, this now allows us to create a link from it. So you can go get link, and it just copies the link to the clipboard. So jumping across to marketing, and across the menu bar at the top, we're going to go on trigger links and then click on links here. And you're going to see the trigger links that we've already used. So you can actually see that for our first lead magnet, which was our ads and sales calculator cockpit, this is a great lead magnet for being able to work out your numbers for your business. I actually used a Google Drive. And for the second one, I decided to use Go High Level's media storage. And I think this is probably the easiest option for most people. If I use our hook heuristics one as an example, if I just click on edit, what happens is, you can see here that you give it a name and you also put in the URL. So all you're going to do here is paste the URL in that you've just copied to your clipboard. If you decide that you want to host all of your PDFs or your ebooks or whatever the lead magnet is, if you want to host this on a Google Drive or any other external hosting service, you can, but you're just going to paste the link inside of here. And then when you press save, Go High Level is then going to create a link key. Now, this link key is what's really important here, because this is what we're going to use inside of our automations to actually check to see if someone's clicked on it. Now, this is a great feature inside of Go High Level because it allows us to be able to track any type of link that we want, and we can do all sorts of automations. We can trigger all sorts of automations from this, but in this instance we're going to include this inside of one of our workflows in our automations, and we're going to embed this trigger link inside of the email that sends across the lead magnet to the people who've opted in. When they've opened that email, we'll know if they've actually clicked on that link or not. So once you've got that copied, you just click on that and you can press copy. You can see key copied. And now we're going to go inside of the automations, and I've already built these automations, and if you want them, just drop me a comment or a message and I can send it to you so you can easily look at it. Now you can see how we keep super organized with everything inside a High Level. Don't just have everything in a linear folder, because it becomes a nightmare once you start creating a lot of different things. So I'm inside our hook heuristics workbook, which is our lead magnet. I'm going to go into emails. And inside of emails, I'm just going to open up the delivery email here, and I'm just going to run you through this. Now, what you need to have here is, you start off this workflow by selecting the trigger. So what we have is there's a couple of different ways that you can do this. We've said we've got a trigger form here, and we've just said when the form, and this is a form that we've already created, when your form is submitted, what they're going to do, we're going to move them to the next stage in the funnel. Now, the first thing that we always do is, as soon as someone has opted in and they've completed the form on our landing page, what we always do is we give them different tags. Now, we have a lot of different tags, and it depends on how you're going to operate your business setup and the processes and the operations that you're running and the way you want things to actually flow. So we do a different set of lead magnets, but the important one is here that you at least label the lead magnet they're doing. So you can see lead magnet, and we've got ads because you can only access this funnel through our paid ads. We like to have every different platform as a different funnel so we can really get granular with our data and track where people are actually coming from. So we give a different one, a different tag depending on what we are doing. And then we create an opportunity, so we have these coming in as just a downloadable lead magnet, so we know that they're just sitting in the lead magnet stage. So they're just at the very start of our funnel. Now this is the important one here. So we're going to send them the lead magnet. Can't stress how important it is to make sure that you name everything clearly. And then just coming down here, hi, this is Billy and Jamie from the High Ticket Handbook. Here's the workbook we promised for writing psychology-driven hooks that scale. Download the hook heuristic workbook here. Now, if I hover over this, you will see that this is where you put your trigger link. Okay, you're going to see a lot of videos on YouTube showing you an older way of doing this. This is now the updated way in Go High Level. This is the best way of setting up your trigger links. And you just simply paste it in. Now, once you've pasted that in, Go High Level can now track every time that specific link is being clicked. And we know that if someone's clicked it, we know that they must have downloaded the lead magnet. So just coming through to the rest of the automation. So once we've delivered it, this is the stage that we're at now. We are here. This is where we are. And I'm going to scroll down to the next part, because on this bit here, what I want is, before it does anything else, I've just put a wait inside of here. And I want to make sure that we're not just doing this instantly, because we don't want to bombard them with emails. So we at least want to give them a few hours. They might have downloaded it. They might have went away to sort the kids out. They might have had to have a business meeting. So we'll put a wait in here for 6 hours. Now, this is the important step, okay? So, well, it's all important, but this is the next important step. You're going to set up a goal, and the goal is going to be trigger link. So I've just called this trigger link. Click trigger link, that's my name here. And you've got to select the type of goal that you want, and it's this one, click a trigger link. And then what it does, you can actually now search for all of the trigger links that you've saved on the previous step. That's when I went to marketing, trigger links across the top, and I set up the trigger link. So you can see the hook heuristics workbook, and this is for our new leads. And I'll explain in a different video why we've got existing leads and new leads. It's because we send them down a different way if they've came through a different lead magnet, but that's for a different video. So select your hook heuristics or your trigger link, whatever it is. And once you've selected that, if a contact reaches this action without meeting any of the conditions, continue anyway. So regardless of what they've done up here, if they've clicked it or not, I want them to go to the next step. Now, the next step is a condition. And what the condition is, this condition is actually checking, is the trigger link being clicked or not? So if they've clicked the trigger link, okay, so that if the trigger link is clicked, okay, what we are then going to do is we're going to wait 24 hours, and then we're going to send them email 2. And email 2, you can see a gift to help you scale your ads. And what you'll see here is I'm actually sending them a second lead magnet, which you would have noticed on our trigger links. This is our ads and sales calculator cockpit, which helps them get their numbers in order to scale their ads. Now, the reason that this is super important is because what I'm doing here is I'm actually giving them even more value than they even signed up for. They signed up for the hook heuristics through our Facebook ads and through our funnel, but now I'm sending them even more value. Now, if they haven't clicked the trigger link, so I know they haven't even downloaded it yet, I'm going to send them down this route. And what this email does, it's just another gentle nudge saying, hey, just a quick reminder to grab your hook heuristics workbook, and you can download it here. And I'm just explaining why. So when you do, you'll discover the same principles that we use with high ticket coaches who are spending 30K, 50K, or even 90K a day on ads to write hooks that stop the scroll and book more calls and scale faster. And then I just tell them what they're going to learn inside. I'm not going to read through all of these emails. I'm just giving you an example. And then what I do again is I'll do another condition. So I'll wait another 24 hours. I have another condition, just repeating this process. Have they clicked the trigger link or not? If they have clicked the trigger link, so the trigger link is clicked, they're going to go back to this step here where I'm going to add the value, send them that second email. If they don't, I'm repeating the process. You can see email 1C. I'm now trying to explain to them again why they need to download the original thing that they signed up for. And we just repeat this process just 3 times. And the reason we do this, we don't want to continuously send them emails asking them to download it, but I'm going to give them 3 reminders. I'm going to give them 3 chances. You can see here on the other branch that after I've sent the second email, once they've clicked that trigger link, I then send them to our YouTube video that is showing what we learned from managing 11 million in ads in the last 6 months. So what I'm doing there is I'm now trying to get the lead who's opted in to consume some of our YouTube content, which is a podcast where we talk about what we learned from managing $11 million in ad spend over a 6-month period. And this is really important because now we're getting them to digest more content. And you'll see what happens here. Once they've been sent this YouTube video, we add a tag called Welcome Series. And then at this point, here, and then here, you can see there's 3 stages. We don't move them to our welcome series until we want them to do that, because we want to give ourselves the best chance of them to consume the content. If you want this workflow, let me know and I can send it so it's easier just for you to copy it. We could package this up and just send it as a snapshot. Let me know and I can send that. But drop me a comment if you've got any questions, ping me a message. And we do have a free Skool group as well that you can sign up for. I'll put the link in the comments of this video. If you're already in the Skool group, fantastic. Just post any questions that you have.